Finally, it's working. Okay, so everybody is officially back from the long, experience of you being at the park today. I hope that it was fun. I was not there. It is a beautiful day, but, sometimes you feel called to do other things. I felt called to do other things today, so that's good. By the way, I do want to remind everybody that I have a new video on the lunar nodes that I made today on the South Node and North Node. So if you're interested, you can go watch it. It's on my YouTube channel. So because I'm going to do a whole series of videos, so I did one on the North Node and South Node in general. I did one on North Node in Taurus and South Node in Scorpio because it's my natal placement. The next one I'm going to do, which I'm really excited about, is a video about the North Node in Taurus, or North Node in Scorpio, and South Node in Taurus. And that is a placement that I'm just really curious about, and I want to know more about it. And this is going to be a really, really fun idea. Oh, this is going to be amazing. So, what I'm thinking about right now is, because Carly from Owning Authenticity is going to be coming here next month, around the 6th of June, I think, or something like that. She'll be coming, because we have a break. And I think it would be really fun for her to do an interview to people who have their North Node in Scorpio. Or maybe just in general. But, I'm kind of thinking North Node and Scorpio people because she knows a lot, probably more than I do, about the nodes. And she can come up with better questions. So I think a plan that I have in my mind is for her to interview the people who have that placement. Because I want to know their life experience. And I also want to know how the current nodal transit of the North Node through Taurus has been treating them. Because it's the reverse nodal return. You are moving in a direction, in a sort of soul pathway, in a soul direction, but suddenly it's flipped around for you. And you're being called, and the world is being called to move the direction of your South Node, and that really reveals that this may not be your direction of your life, but this could be another direction that you could go in. That there are lessons and positive traits about your South Node sign to integrate. So, for instance, when I do these things just come to me naturally. Things just come to me as I'm doing this, and, I think of things. So I'm just going to tell you. Back in 2013, several things happened. And maybe I should show you the video. Well, actually, I can't do that. So, I sort of want to dig back through a little bit and talk to you about this year and what I think it means. I think 2013 was the year of the end of separation. There were so many there was so much water energy that year. The eclipses, some of them occurred in Scorpio. At the time, the North Node was in Scorpio, Saturn was in Scorpio, Jupiter moved into Cancer that year. All the Mercury retrogrades happened in water signs. So a lot happened in the element of water. And this was really a time when I think it has to do with connecting, opening up, letting our emotions sort of flow and, opening up emotionally, connecting emotionally, dropping in. I think that was what that year was about. Transformation, the new things. Now Frozen, the movie Frozen, was actually made, and it was actually released in theaters when the North Node was in Scorpio. And I almost wish that the Frozen 2 movie was released when the North Node was in that sign, because it's about going into the unknown. Scorpio, risk-taking. You're leaving behind the comfort zone of Taurus. We could talk about the South Node and comfort zone, and let's talk about Taurus, and move into the, into the unknown. Scorpio's the, unknown. And I think that song, Into the Unknown, speaks in a really soulful way to those people who have this placement, or any, or Sagittarius placements or anything like that. And I really want somebody with the actual placement of North Node in Scorpio to sing the song. There's a singer, her name is Kate Winslet, who has the placement of North Node in Scorpio. Maybe she could sing that sometime. That could be a good idea. So back in 2013, it was kind of, for me personally, it was not the best year for my family. Because in that year, my mom got, sort of had some health stuff happening, and several other things happened. I think the highlights of the year for me, well, that was the year when I first saw The Sound of Music, so that was really exciting in the springtime. That was also the year when I got interested in Tinkerbell for the first time. I started that interest. Maybe I should watch those movies again. For some strange reason, I feel like I want to see those movies again. So I got into that. I was into, several things. I remember during the spring break, because I was in 3rd grade at the time, we had a tent that was sitting literally in the basement, so that was interesting. But I think the summer of that year, there were a couple memories for me. First of all, those swimming lessons that I had. Talk about North Node in Scorpio, trying to prepare things as best as I can, moving into trusting other people, trusting, relaxing, not being so rigid towards. And so going into swimming lessons was uncomfortable. It was new. Just all of a sudden, I just went into swimming lessons. That's how it happened. And so, that first day of swimming lessons, I was dunked underwater. Sort of an underworld experience that I did not expect. That was sudden, out of the blue. I don't know if Uranus and Pluto were making an exact square, around that time, because I know astrologically Uranus was in Aries, Pluto was in Capricorn, and they were making squares aspects. One, and then you had another throughout, that in that year especially, but several years. So anyway, the swimming lessons happened. It was, frightening, and I wish that it would not have been the case, and they did not respect the need to slowly sort of move one step at a time into doing that. It was a sudden thrust and push into swimming, which I was not ready for at the time. And I'm not ready for, and thanks to them, I now have a fear of going underwater. I would not have that fear had I not had that experience. So I do not have my natal north node in Scorpio. I have my natal north node in Taurus. And there lies some of the difficulty of the relationship experience that you may have, is that this person is also moving this direction that you're moving away from. So, in that sense, maybe there will be a little conflict, who knows. I have no doubt in my mind that there will be absolutely no conflict whatsoever between me and Edward Silverman. I will be shocked if there will be any conflict. I can guarantee you there will not be any conflict. I don't think it will be too challenging. It won't be challenging at all. But if I can move myself in an evolutionary direction with the certain habit patterns that I'm trying to break right now, then I will be good. And this is going to be exciting because it's going to be something new. And I am not going to let the anxiety, the insecurity of what I've been dealing with get the better of making the most out of this. I won't. So anyway, that's that. But, part of the memories I have was going to swimming lessons. The other part was going to Kentucky, camping in Kentucky. Of course, I was sick over that summer. So anyway, that'll be going on. People will be interviewing, or owning authenticity. Carly will be interviewing people who have that placement because I want to know their experience of life firsthand. I'm very curious about it. Now, today was a celebration because Jupiter moved into the sign of Taurus today. And, I was seeing a couple live streams from Maria de Simone, and on one she was eating ice cream, and on the other she was drinking wine. And I'm not here to judge what people do. If you've seen those live streams, you have seen those. Of course, there's a million videos out there for you to see. So, maybe some of you have seen that. Maybe some of you haven't, but I did see it, and I'm not here to restrict anybody. And it was, I do have to say, it was satisfying in a really unusual, very interesting, unbelievable way to, see her eating and talking about her experience with certain transits. Of course, I probably will not be doing that because it's not me. If you're going to really take a risk, you need to be uninhibited, and you need to have self-confidence in yourself. Do not go take a risk and be a little bit timid and shy about it. Be confident. And if you don't have that confidence, don't go in that direction. Come at a situation with confidence, courage, self-knowledge. You're sure of yourself. You are free. You're liberating yourself. And I was, when I was younger, I was shyer. And I consider myself not as shy, although my personality is the way that it is. And the way that I express myself here will be the way that I express myself on my videos. Because I compare myself to other people, Maria de Simone included. And I'm pretty well off. I'm pretty good. My freeing, uninhibitedness is, by all means, I have permission. Of course, I'm not going to take a risk and just, do something if it isn't true for me. Sitting on a live stream and eating ice cream and talking about astrology is true for Maria de Simone. And I'm glad that she felt that kind of empowerment to do that. Not that I don't want to make it a crazy thing, but, I do not want to inhibit anybody. Because I wouldn't want to be inhibited. I would not want to be limited. Now, if I was living with Maria de Simone, I don't know. There may be a couple things that I may restrict from her to do. First and foremost, channel memberships. Where can I even begin with channel memberships? First of all, it's really well established that none of you are going to invest in channel memberships. That's, first and foremost. And if I was living with her, I would say you need to take that down. And you need to just have memberships on your website. Call Up Bjorn Reid has this Oracle Circle thing. And she does not have any channel memberships on her channel. And she is super materialistic. I would definitely say so. And yeah, you're just going to find more from what is free and what is already available to you. And yeah, so do not go into a situation unless you're sure of yourself and you are being true to yourself. I've gone in a couple public situations before that I'm thinking to myself, this is not who I am. I'm not the one who controls and the one who is disinitiating. I had a conversation with my psychotherapist a couple of days ago on May 9th. May 10th, excuse me. She was talking about just being more extroverted, reaching out to people on Facebook, chatting, initiating chatting, because on Facebook you can chat with people in the chat. And I am not very tempted to do that. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do it. But here's the thing. That felt better. It's when people ask me questions that I am not prepared to answer, that I come across mentally as being somebody that I'm not for other people. I'm trying to be who I am. I really am. But it comes across as if I am more shy, more refined, more, put together, which, more than I actually am. And I'm pretty put together, but I also am not Klaus Baudelaire from a series of unfortunate events. I'm not, I'm not the type of person to regularly want to I'm not inclined to go for a button-down shirt. That's not me, but I also don't dress, badly. So, anyway, and, I also think, well, I was asked about, do you want to reconnect with people on Facebook? And I don't know, I didn't really want to do that. So interesting because I kind of feel guilty answering the questions that she asks sometimes, and I want to say sometimes, not every time, because I don't know what her response is going to be. And I'm going to convey to her, okay, well, guess what? This is how I feel. I'm a little bit afraid and nervous for what your response is going to be. And I'm not going to be afraid of that. I'm just going to answer it, and if it may be completely honest, it may be a little bit over-exaggerated and not fully the truth. But I don't want to be timid. I don't want to be held back, vague. All of those things, I don't want to be that way. I do not want to be that person in life. And I'm also not an aggressive person. And I also do not want to be put down because of the projections of other people. When others steer you away from your truth and your authenticity of who you are. I'm not going to tolerate that unless you want to become somebody different. You want to be this version, a new version of yourself, based off of somebody else. So, that can happen. That definitely can happen. And there's a different feeling and resonance for that. But, I was asked if I wanted to reconnect with people on Facebook. And I didn't really want to do that. I'm extroverted in other ways. I put myself out there for the whole world to see. I don't want to get on there because it's not me. It doesn't sit in me, and it's not true for me to just start initiating all these conversations with people. And I am in Aries, but I don't have that many planets in Aries, and I don't have any Leo in my natal chart at all. None. So that sign I understand the least about. And it's a very oversimplified sign. And I think if you're going to talk about Leo, you have to go deep. I think my therapist, in my mind, kind of reduces whatever I'm talking about to being not hospitable, but reasonable and normal, and so average. That's really interesting. So, don't be afraid when you're in a situation. When I am going up to, oh my goodness me. Don't go there. Don't go there with me on this. But when I am in a situation and I am meeting, young women, females, girls, I might as well, come out and say that. And I am meeting people. I don't want to be the shy type of person. I don't want to be projected upon and reflected back to me. Oh, I'm, pretty shy and introverted and, very self-absorbed, that I'm not open enough. Open enough emotionally, open enough intellectually, because I'm so absorbed into myself and my stuff and my social media and all those kind of things like that. I don't want to be that type of person. And I hope that all I do is normal for other people on this social media to do. And probably maybe less than those people do when it comes to sharing their life and expressing themselves. The truth is, when you are on social media more, you become more comfortable and you become more open at expressing yourself and your life. That is the truth. You can feel it within inside of you. If it feels comfortable or doesn't, it doesn't have to be a bad thing that you're expressing yourself and you're becoming more personal. It does not have to be a negative. And sometimes if you tell certain personal stories about yourself, you kind of have to get technical about what's actually going on. Vagueness. Sometimes it is not to be had. And I don't want to be vague. I want to be direct. That's how I want to be. Yes. And thank you for telling me what I already know. Thank you for telling me what I already know. I appreciate it. Take it that okay, I'm sincerely being sarcastic. I'm sincerely being sarcastic. Like, if somebody else wants to tell me something that I already know, I'm just going to say, thank you for telling me what I already know. I don't really mean it. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Mr. Justin Tyson, who was here at my Edmonton a year ago, his birthday was just yesterday.
5 minutes?
Okay.
3 minutes?
Okay, yeah. His humor was very dry and very sarcastic, and I have reached out to him and sent a friend request to him because I felt like now I feel like I want to do this. So, when Colin, the friend that I had, was in with him, when Colin would talk and he would not raise his hand, Justin, I can call him, that name now, Mr. Tyson would say, thank you for raising your hand. He didn't mean it. He was sarcastic, and he wasn't always clear about him joking. And I had a sociology teacher this semester that when he would make dry jokes, he would make it clear. He would laugh at it, Mr. Tyson was not always clear when he was joking. That was the truth of the matter. And so, yeah. That's just what I have to say on that. So anyway, I don't want to continue talking. That is all. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I went against my plan. I went against what I was telling you. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Starting at the new moon in Taurus on May 19th. I am not good at keeping my promises, so this is my promise. This is going to be the last mentioned meeting, the last check-in that you're going to be seeing with me. I know I promised it the last time, but I'm going to deliver it this time. I'm going to deliver it this time. So I'm not going to do any more of these meetings. I promise. I promise this will be the last time that all of you are in this room. I mean that. I mean it. I sincerely mean it. Have a good dinner, everybody.